to say, Janjan is 2028 year power. That's about power. The accuracy, media for we are dancing for. Young person do whatever they say. In fact, you buy more than 100 times the end is for you. So I'm in Uncle because when we come back to power, we will do the same thing to them. You bet you be in fact, you better make sure the Ghana no, you better come the young soldier to me. You better be for 8 years. Yanchobia, Yanya Bonibia, Yanya the Bonibia, as a son on Baya. Not Ghana police is so any yet was some way professional. No by yet mama and this we are there, you are waiting for them 2028, inshallah. Yomuye, you better.
Now, here for the catch MPP for some about 2028. No, I say, it's your money. I've been be said, we your children almost say 2028 then, Joe. Now, what name about 8 to move for? Me, NDC, me, MPP, no. But as I'm moving, me, slow. One day to move for somebody to have power 2028. No, maybe say me who. Hey, you're ready.
The MPP for what them? They used to do this routinely. I don't mind Chini Power Ghana.
Of course, I would Chini.
Some of you mentioned to police CID for several hours. And I'm say a day or two. Kokwa you do one man chino. Yeah. Ori to force. I don't mind for na court. Calling that one for court. Che.
It was for one of the biggest propaganda the MPP for no Eddie attacking NDC and he said if he say yechi abronya no mkrofo bebre MPP for bebre kasa say NDC for nde tia no mochi mkrofo egum obi abekasa tia no bia na wachi e de wakwa akotu enti abuse of power. Felix Kwakye oye MP for Kwamankese under the administration of John Dramani Mahama expose bi awaye no uyim ebe show se mufi say MPP anase na Akufo-Addo na oye Angela and the video ebe chiro nkrofo dodo a na Akufo-Addo one IGP Dampare plus Dr. Mahmoud Baomi nkrofo omachi omagum eko almost 90 people and omuchi omugun ebimpo klano usiafo omujili omu ane enya seketwa ye momodin engomohwe video na sa video we mu no wo se Akufo-Addo kra e confirm say omuchi nkrofo na enyo ono the forts and amana basa.
Right. Are you concerned about protest movements? We've seen a lot of protests. Some activists were arrested, put in jail. The opposition is saying you're trying to stifle dissent.
I'm not responsible for jailing people in Ghana. The courts in Ghana are independent institutions, and they have been all through this period of the Fourth Republic. People misconduct themselves and they're brought before court. It's for the court to deal with them. That's not a matter.
It has nothing to do about politics.
It has nothing to do with the executive. And their behavior is what lands them in problem with the police and with the courts. It's not the protests. How can the president, who himself, his political career was aided by leading protests, have problems with protests? I don't have problems with protests. And nothing is done in Ghana to prevent people. Those who make it a habit of publishing falsehoods, which result in panic in the system, say to them, the relevant state agencies will act against such persons. Indeed, some steps have been taken to restore order in the foreign exchange markets, and we're already beginning to see some calm returning. We will not relent until order is completely restored.
Yeah, a buying be of Ghana be as the MPP for Wabemo. They used to do this routinely. I don't mind Chini Power Ghana.
Of course, I would Chini.
Some of you don't mind to police CID for several hours. And I'm say a day or two. Kokwa you do one man chino. Yeah. Ori to force. I don't mind for na court. Calling that I don't want for court. Che go for that me at force asem no. Won enye say bia equalization na bibi. But say what MPP for why be me say began na no ankwa na ma no yati hwe atofo se asem no. Second defendant Dr. Sylvester Animana na oye former chief director e health ministry sa ambulance asem no abra ye de na ye che no a ye de no court no na owo yare bibiri owo serious kidney problem na onti asem sabi pedu asem no ni so hu ade oti wheelchair mu ni fie e wo efensen kwa benye chiwo anope bia ofotrotro eti wheelchair mu eba court otna was several hours na owo urgent need to go and do a kidney transplant go for that me ko gina court abre bia e be friend say omra doctor mu no na ontumi po nkasa and yet go for that me took him to court. The man sat in a wheelchair in court obi a wo kidney serious kidney problem or hearing impairment neni so hu ade papa and yet MPP aban hu no mobo I didn't go to court yet, and I would see your master. They didn't even touch a fly. That was how callous they were. It's a more ding. No. They took Ubia, was serious health problems to court. Back of my prayer, and yet 37 here. And I'm quite demonstration. What say, Mebunu Baya Edunum, any for merely protesting.
Hunger striking now.
Just for protesting. Some more the placards, I call disruptive traffic. Almost do almost to fiase. Now what you be? Ye ba be mu ye just anchor for me boy.
That's true.
They were in court as of the time I ba be mu. So how can a party like this that behave this way suddenly turn around and be protesting and say due processor ya do be fast no but ye be happen? They were capricious. You see, omo bo mind say omo japade. It's more day after they put a man who was in a wheelchair suffering from multiple ailments. Now me kokota, I used to sit behind the man. So I saw his condition. There was a day, judge no yamoshi na ama or oklosi sitting because of how the man was feeling in court. In the process of the court, was look at that hospital by 2-3 months. The first year didn't tell a doctor to a doc no say no cross examination. He could not utter one discernible word.
Wow.
Now when we trace so the trial had to be halted. And it's Nyame Addo ni papa bi ebo anoma ko India to go and do a kidney transplant. I don't even know whether he's come back. Confedami put that man on trial for 2 years, no backwards, foot to come to court on every single day the case is called. Obas what now hours. We want a mobo. Victor Salome, oh, in prison. Meboa.
Yeah.
Chachuchi kata nyame nko anka ofri yensa at the time that he was in prison. Professor Fempom Watson, heart surgeon, and Nigerian one. Let the MPB not speak as if say they are too wound to be being seen. In any event, and yet you see a danunti and Naeba. You was so dear, sir, by say, Obi a BD Society, you 2 1 among due process. Your family are so pepper, any day. MP before when they were in power, I believe that they thought they had responsibility to fight corruption. So they took a to court, Dr. Puni, almost going to court 7 years. 7 years, maybe why? And I said, now, Dr. Puni, now we don't find him. Say, we are going no Yenipa. Colenzano no Yenipa.
But you see,
so why the efforts to create the impression say, BB Akosua being see or ma Bakwasama and I say, etc. Some Yantisa, the MP before. Yantiana, that was sorry in 2017. No more who joined in a power wall, I couldn't fee. I could see in the phones. The same thing to Conadon. Even current Attorney General, they did the same thing. I am not sure, say, the middle class of Ghana are upset. Say President Obama and the government are living up to the expectations that they must fight corruption.
See, Omampeni will approve it.
No, but President Obama doesn't have to approve. Omampeni to me and share will be say he doesn't have the power to say Parker, why Bonia, my so why every local 2 years here. No, because it be on humanitarian grounds, it be a Parker, Mamao, clemency, and I'm a pardon. That is the power that the president has. But as the process goes on, he doesn't have power. But yes, I will book an Rasso. It is only a court that can determine your guilt or otherwise. It's law enforcement agencies through Attorney General. Almost to say, why a Bonia? There's a process, a time-tested process. The accuracy, it does not violate any known process.
Allegations against them.
Addo forcing. Abra, or invited to interrogate him. See, I heard. Say, I was with him throughout the trial. The court every time the case was called. Who went there? Dr. Puni, Omo invited and say, Omo to Tuna no. Obi call baby on interrogating no. Collins Lauda. Obi call baby on interrogating no. Friend saying, Jachi Kwesi. Obi call baby on interrogating no. Because due process was being followed. Even if we disagreed with the claims they were making in terms of say Omaya Boniyana or Mokana, you cannot fault the fact that due process was used.
Okay.
So, my young to Tony Massey, now yes, saw in the air, and Tasumusu. Say merely because you go and make noise at a facility belonging to state law enforcement officials in Tino. No, it doesn't happen. We cannot run the country like that.
I see.
Ebusia Semohu. Propaganda chese MPP for Edinamoa. Omaya some person we man crofo ejidi say President John Dramani Mahama oyobi a ne tirim osum oyobi a oye wicked and oyobi a oye intolerant kind of government and as a president enti enunti na ochechi crofo edi egum ebusuafo say video no edi dance epefe say Nana Akufo-Addo Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and IGP Dampare nkrofo a omochi omo edi omugum no na enye nkrofo ketwa nenye numbers kitwa ena wohwe offense kura mpo a yede chi omo no a na wohwe sa offense ya President John Dramani Mahama kura no apensu yede chi nkrofo a differences no clear say President John Dramani Mahama and as a NDC as a political party no omo doka na fo na afrensu papa no trimu enyesu sene MPP for Jan Damontino omo pese omo ka kosi se President John Dramani Mahama no na ba ban mu na ochichi nkrofo Nana Akufo-Addo ochi nkrofo bebre gumu na omo reasons impokra no ye de chi nkrofo bebre gumu no mpokra no de we mpokra de isa Nana Akufo-Addo time obi enu a obetimi mpo ede ne sensi ne bo se o threaten Nana Akufo-Addo number 2 obi enu obetimi de ne bo obetimi de ne sa esi ne bo se o threaten the first man of the land and also the president of the land. Then so eba chese NDC there and ne oba besi akra timi bo threat and ma omo timi de omo sa esi omo bo abort the sitting president threat say omo be kono no ebusuafo sefin na chese Nana Akufo-Addo time no crowd how dare you try this untimi pon try sad we enkrofo chese Nana Akufo-Addo oni Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and afi IGP Dampare eswa omo edi omo gogu cells ebusuafo omo prove 100 o omo prove 100 nipa kakra bi na nya be omo maka no crowd there chese ejeli omo ma na nya seketwa Captain Smart mu na etichi omo Bulldog mu na echi no ma ne kokot ko bonika bongo ideas mu na echi omo na nenye minister and as MP for Kwamankesi Honorable Felix Kwakye ofosu na campo ankamenim say sami dem fimo no chese your friend is saying ato force mu nyina no kra bukra no ye chichi omo kra de omo kogina court enti Nana Akufo-Addo chichi nkrofo bebre ti ebe ya samre de MPP mo sisi ano yenka ne say mu relegation no sisi ano mu opposition enti ebe ya mu ni no kra enfa kire Ghana fo na say Ghana fo pe ehwe say ebia omo beta dwo na say ye beto aba ma ya to aba ma na munyai nkwasesem a mudi opposition mu nkrofo a mo chi omo na nya nkrofo kitwa mu chichi nkrofo bebre gumu ye de mu pe bia enso eba President John Dramani Mahama de madanem ho asoro abofo na mo pese mo pretend say mo de manchi obi antum ana say mo de na ye fa mo de chese manchi obi antum ana say mo de na mo de mo do chese mo do Ghana phobia ma na mo de a very make can say tolerant government and na mo de na mo nche nkrofo inti ene chese President John Dramani Mahama ono na babe intolerant government and as a president and so yes sana adinitie mo chichi nkrofo ayo mu bia ma chese ayo so eyi commotion mi kra ba yi hu se Honorable Sam George kra no kra wodi asotro how akumsi kra bo nkrofo tu okumo moma eno hu se nkwa ye ka ho ase na ma bigina o se mo de mo yo soro abofo bia ma na de ba yi President John Dramani Mahama oye no the President John Dramani Mahama oye no dia na waye MPP for atronti ne Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia opa show no atura mo be ditire Ghana for kam we brugu Ghana for so nisi kam wo wiani de modi ye de re share President John Dramani Mahama Musa nka onu be aka onu de onyaba pe obeche omu ina na nka ya prosecute omu ina bia ko jail ni ade na nka ya confiscate omu properties ni ade na properties ya tonton na ye disika no ba mu back na nke de aye project but e wono say President John Dramani Mahama wodi ehwamo pia enya ade a chese ebusafo ya de bia yin na yi so yensu ebeba ni say yebefa ni say ana yen kan say ka onu momu de NDC de eyesin MPP inti se enye MPP fo pa ne wa ban mu no ko ade eduru bebi aya na echichiri ni pare but ye kan say ye can say government pa dia ka President John Dramani Mahama will disappoint you pa area of corruption ene nkrofo a omowia aban ejapade ni sikadia ye yo mu ho asana yenim se Nana Akufo-Addo tisui one eja eti bonkoso Dr. Mahmoud Baumia ekwoje mra ye se omo de mra bia ba se sisi anokra so bi ko wi ade na mo chi ni mpokra no a nipa ne ba mutimi ma no kwan na nipa no jepini ese obetu esika na mma no kwan no otu esika no na mo ma ne mre na mama ne be no otu otu esika no ye de rank ni se sa ankrofo yi omo na be ko jail na ka ya prosecute omo na ya confiscate omo property na ka ya ton e de aba ben mu ama nyoma akoyi nenso enye sa ne koba tebusia ni nyina ne se penifo be se nke be ko go de nke kokona aban no MPP NDC no ye kakra esi MPP iti wansa enye MPP for pa ne wa aban mu ni de eduru bebi a ya na ya fa ne sa eduru bebi a ye fa ne sa tebusia for MPP for eba wonche no mo ka tro se omo penso man tin krofo a evidence no eno ena me de abremu bidimo ebesia dasene onyankopon pe na odi adom edom ye na ebesanso yaba makwa mebio makram